If there's one thing that I do like about David Moyes in terms of his qualities, it's the fact that he is like a very controlled father figure to a lot of players. He's had over 1,000 games as a manager across a 24-year period, and he's seen a lot of things go on at clubs over that time, whether it be drama or players falling out or transfer sagas. He's seen it all, and he's mature enough and is competent enough now to deal with it accordingly. And the Kurt Zouma incident has drawn a bit of a blow for West Ham because the media has blown it out of proportion. For those who do not know, I'll explain it very quickly. Kurt Zouma was filmed kicking his cat across a kitchen floor. The video was uploaded to the internet by the Sun newspaper, and it quickly was leaked into the mainstream media, and it went to Twitter. The club decided to fine Kurt Zouma the maximum of £250,000, did not suspend him, dealt with it internally, and decided to move on. Other people couldn't accept that. People were calling for Zouma's contract to be cancelled. Other people were calling for him to go to prison for 5 years. People were calling for him to be extradited to France so he could face trial for animal cruelty. Like, come on, guys. Look, the club dealt with it professionally and maturely. Didn't condone it. The club made no attempt to condone his actions because it wasn't justifiable at all. Attacking an animal definitely is not that kind of thing. And, most importantly, he's had his punishment. What's done is done as far as I'm concerned. And we now just move on. David Moyes, as well as Mikel Antonio, by the way, who actually came out on Sky Sports. I might as well talk about Mikel Antonio while I'm at it. He said, well, is what Kurt Zouma's done worse than racism? Because Luis Suarez racially abused a player and bit a player, which is, what, ABH, in a way. He wasn't dropped from his Adidas sponsorship. You know, Jamie O'Hara, who's not exactly a saint, criticised him. All those TalkSport people, bar Ali McCoist, criticised him. I hate TalkSport because they're all absolute idiots and all hypocrites. They're not exactly angels either. Them lot, like O'Hara, Sinclair, people like that. How can they slag him off when they're no better than him? I mean, it's ridiculous. The whole internet has blown what Kurt Zouma did out of proportion. I can't say it in any other way. And saying, oh, you know, Kurt Zouma's killed a cat. He didn't kill the cat. The cat was taken away from him, which is fair enough. Both of his cats were taken away. He's come out and said an apology for his actions. I was saying that he deserved to be punished in a video I recently did, and rightly so. He did deserve to be punished. He got punished. Let's move on. Water under the bridge as far as we're all concerned. David Moyes, which is the point of this video, had to come out and even defend Kurt Zouma further. Mikel Antonio already said, you know, is what he's done worse than racism? You know, we're not condoning what he's done as a club, and right, we're not. But it's not like he racially abused anyone. It's not like he physically attacked anybody. There are worse things in the world. You know, it's not like he committed murder, because some football players have, and some athletes have done that, and they've gone to prison for it. Why? Everyone treating this like he's murdered the Queen. He hasn't. But David Moyes had to defend Kurt Zouma in a press conference, and how it came across, fantastically well, very well articulated, and very mature response. Moyes said, and I quote, "I don't think a club could have taken more action any quicker than what they've done at the moment. West Ham have done a really good job. We fined him maximum wages. I'm not condoning his actions. They were terrible, and we've all accepted that they are diabolical. But we've chosen to play him, and I stand by that. We'll do everything we possibly can to make sure Kurt is looking at it, getting better and understanding it. As a club, we're doing everything we possibly can to resolve it." We're denying that it was acceptable and condemning the actions were needed in this statement, and Moyes did that. I don't think the club could have taken more action any quicker is fair. And Moyes doesn't condone these actions. He even said it, and it's on tape as proof. It's permanent and there for all to see. Moyes is saying look, I'm playing him. I know I'm going to get backlash for it, but at the end of the day, this is my team. I'm the manager. I've dealt with the player. He's my defender, and I will choose to do with him as I please. If I want to suspend him, I'll suspend him. If I don't play him, I don't play him. But at the end of the day, it's my decision, and that's fair enough. The situation with it is terrible. This is more quotation. The incident in that video is terrible. We totally agree with that. There is nobody in the football club who doesn't agree with that. Sponsorship, if that's being taken away, that's something the club will deal with, not me. We're going to get him some help, and he is getting help. We're trying to do as much as we can as a club and as a team to help him. He's really disappointed and incredibly remorseful. Like everyone else, sometimes you need a bit of forgiveness, and he's hoping he's forgiven for a bad action. We mustn't forget that many of us through their lives will make mistakes, and you hope there are people out there who will give you a bit of forgiveness. And there's furthermore, saying that he doesn't agree with it, but he says if the sponsorship wants to be taken away and other things are happening behind the scenes, let those things be dealt with separately, but don't bring it as a burden on the club. Don't make the club feel worse for trying to do something about this incident. Just let us deal with it, and anything else that happens behind the scenes will just be left alone. I imagine that Kurt Zouma is very remorseful and is regretting it, and he has faced a lot of backlash. So I suppose in a way we've got to stand by him whilst letting him know that what he did wasn't right. I'm a big believer in learning from mistakes and learning from bad actions. We can't really call it a mistake because he deliberately kicked the cat. But I'm a big believer in learning from errors. And if you can make up for it, fair enough. All for that. That's what Moyes is saying. He's saying that we just need to give him a bit of forgiveness and, more importantly, just let his performances on the pitch do the talking. Because Moyes is a man who's all about more action and less talk. He even said it 2 years ago. He said, as a quotation from the not the Archbishop of Canterbury, I think it was? Yeah, I think it was. He said, say less, deliver more. And that's what he wants from Zouma. He just wants the media to say less and for Zouma just to rally on and carry on as normal despite this backlash. Because that's a sign of a true professional. You know, ignoring what the tabloid media says or what the media is saying about you and just getting on with it as though, not saying nothing happened, but just getting on with it as though you're unaffected by it. Because it shows your emotional intelligence and your mental strength at the same time. What I like about David Moyes is that he is seen as the captain of the West Ham ship. And he's a good captain, he's a fair captain, but he does run a tight ship. And if you step out of line, he won't necessarily grill you, he won't make you feel awful about it. He'll say, okay, you've done X, Y, Z wrong, here's what you need to do to correct it, just don't do it again. Fair enough. I think that's what he's done with Zouma. And how he's responded to these allegations that people are going to slate him and journalists are going to slate him for the decision to start Zouma, Zouma should be dropped, etc. Moyes' choice at the end of the day, he's the manager and he will decide what happens with the player. And I think that's exactly the right course of action in all of this. Not much more could have been done. Fining him, making him do an animal education course is the absolute minimum. The club did that and acted quickly to discipline him. As far as I'm concerned, this incident will be forgotten about in a few weeks' time. There should be no more repercussions. Moyes had to come out and defend his player in the media, as may have been expected. He did so. Very pleased that the club's taken action to discipline the player. We now just move on. Like I say, we move on. That's all we can do. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all soon.